I came home around 12 a.m. to the house I share with 4 roommates. When walking on the sidewalk, I noticed a man from across the street facing the other side seemingly doing nothing. I passed by and entered my house, locking the door, and went to the kitchen, passing one of my roommates lying on the couch. When I left the kitchen, I saw a dark outline through the door window and stopped to focus my eyes. My couch roommate looked at me confused since I just stopped in my tracks. The outer door was open, and the man from across the street was looking in and started turning the knob. As I heard the knob rattling, I said something like, "There's a fucking guy at our door!" My roommate got up from the couch alarmed, and we together got closer to the door. I could see the man's face clear now, pressed up against the door window. His face was blank. He had long, oily hair and pock marks on his cheeks. His expression made me feel very uncomfortable. It was like he was looking through us, but didn't recognize us. My roommate yelled down to my basement roommate to make sure the door leading to the backyard was locked. As the man kept trying to get in, I ran upstairs and alarmed my other roommate. When we came back down, the man wasn't at the door, so we peered out the window to see him standing in our walkway looking across the street again. Reflecting on this, I'm just happy I remembered to lock the door, because we'd often stupidly forget and spend the night with it unlocked. I can only imagine what would have happened if the door was unlocked and he stepped in our house. He probably would have walked through the hallway and my roommate on the couch would just see this stranger walk into our living room and scare the shit out of him. Most likely this guy was drugged out by the way his expression was, but who knows what intentions he had. Let's not meet. When I was a senior in college a few years ago, I lived in an old house about a 5-minute walk from my campus with 5 of my girlfriends. It was still COVID time, so we spent a lot of time in the house since we couldn't go anywhere else. To preface, the house was old. Many of the windows didn't lock. Our landlord sucked, as many college ones do, and didn't do anything to fix this issue. But with it being 6 of us and often a boyfriend or 2 sleeping in the house, it felt mostly safe and many of us would sleep with our windows open. Our college was in a town just outside the second most dangerous city in the state, but right around the campus felt relatively safe. When the weather started getting warmer in early spring, we would sit out on the roof to sunbathe. This roof faced our street. We would access the roof from my roommate's, let's call her Mary, bedroom window on the 2nd floor since it led straight to the roof. Our street was residential and didn't get a ton of traffic, but we did have a couple of encounters of younger guys catcalling us as they drove by, but nothing that seemed sinister as we were college kids. One night, in the late semester, Mary went up to her room to call her brother while the rest of us were hanging downstairs. That's when she rushed downstairs and said she saw a ladder leading up to the roof where we would all sunbathe, right near her window, which was open. Later we learned she said out loud to her brother what she saw before she came down. When she told us this, my other roommate and her boyfriend ran outside to find a man running away from our house with a ladder in his arms. It was dark, so they couldn't make out anything about him. I immediately texted our landlord asking if he had someone come by the house to do any work, and of course he said no. We then called the police who came by. They did some investigating and patrolled our house for a couple of nights, but we never found out who the man was, what his intentions were, or if he had been there before. So, to the creep with the ladder, let's not meet.